How do companies decide which employee has high potential and which employee has low potential? How do they decide who is worth investing in when it comes to training, personal development, executive coaching, and who is not? Check the job description of most of the learning and development roles. Many of them will have the line developing high potential or HIPPO employees. This video is about how corporations identify high potential individuals and also what science and academic research talks about high potential. If you are new to this channel, my name is Lisa and I create videos which existed when I was starting out in corporate learning and development. So why the concept of high potential is even there? Aren't the companies supposed to invest and develop their all employees? In the perfect world, every organization would invest in its all employees. Well, Henry Ford famously said, the only thing worse than training your employees and having them leave is not training them and having them stay. But let's be real, in a real world, we've got limited budgets to consider. This reality means organizations have to be more selective when it comes to whom they develop, which is why there is a growing focus on identifying high potential employees since 1960. An employee potential sets the upper limit of his or her development range. The more potential the person has, the quicker and cheaper it is to develop them. The more potential someone has, the more quickly and effectively they can change and evolve in their role. So why do corporations care so much about developing high potentials? Studies have shown stronger financial performance in companies that make proportionally greater investments in identifying and developing their top talent. Talented employees aren't just your top performers, they are multipliers in a way. They elevate the performance of their entire team, especially their direct report. Adding a star player to a team can boost others' effectiveness by 5 to 15%. So it's no surprise that companies that invest more in top talent often see better financial results. So what signals high potential? Thankfully, research tells us that regardless of job or industry, high potential employees usually have some key qualities that you can identify quite early. So the first one is ability. This is about whether someone can actually do the job. The best way to see it is actually to go and see this person in action at work. However, in forecasting an employee being able to succeed in a bigger, more complex role in the future, the question shifts to how likely this individual is able to learn and master the needed knowledge and skills. So the two metrics we're looking at here under ability is cognitive ability, also known as IQ, and learning agility. Ability to learn and develop new skills quickly and flexibly. The next is social skills that boils down to two things: managing yourself and managing relationships with others. Managing yourself involves self-awareness, self-regulation, and the ability to stay composed under pressure. Strong social skills means you can navigate and develop relationships with others, influence others, and drive team success. These are the core components of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence can be assessed by psychometric tests and further be developed through training and development. The third piece is drive, the will and motivation to work hard and push through challenges. Drive is all about your ambition, your desire to keep going and keep improving and striving for more. It's a key factor that determines how much of someone's talent gets used at work. Drive can be measured through different psychometric assessments, but you can also see it in action at work. People are constantly seeking out for new responsibilities. They are taking new tasks and projects that they have not done before, and they demonstrate a strong work ethic and they're excited to solve new problems. So now that we know what high potential is, let's explore how companies identify high potential employees. Most organizations look at two key parameters: employee potential and employee performance. Now, I know I keep saying high potential employees throughout this video. What I actually mean is we should be talking about employees who have both high potential and high performance. Because let's be real, at work, no one really cares about your potential if you're not performing well or you are not doing your job right. So the 9-box grid is a well-known talent management tool in which employees are segmented into 9 groups based on their potential and performance. Potential and performance are divided into 3 categories: low, medium, and high. Usually each box has a designated name for ease of usage. The names of these boxes may differ from company to company. For example, someone with high performance and low potential can be called workhorses, which I absolutely dislike this name. Another company would call them high professional. So just ignore the names and understand the meaning of each box. Usually the companies will do talent review meetings where HR and head of the department meets and decide where each employee falls. When it comes to performance, most organizations measure their employees' performance by yearly performance appraisals. Some companies do it yearly and they also have mid-year reviews. Some companies do quarterly check-ins. With performance, it's easy to identify where to place an employee. If you're doing your job and you're meeting expectations, you're here. If you're doing more than expected from you, you're a high performer. You are a low performer if you are partially performing up to what is expected from you. When it comes to potential, this is where things aren't that straightforward and clear, and the potential is often judged very subjectively. What do I mean by that? Let's say we have Jane, who is in finance as a manager in ABC company. Jane's performance score for 2024 is 4 out of 5. She is a high performer. How will I, as a Jane's manager, decide on her potential? At that talent review meeting, HR or talent development will usually ask the manager, what do you think about Jane's potential? Is it low, medium, or high? As Jane's manager, I can and I will give my opinion, which is very subjective. Of course, I can back it up and I should back it up with facts and examples of Jane's behaviors in the past, but still it's just my opinion. It's opinion of one person. The reality is that in many companies, if not the most, organizations still evaluate employees' potential in this conversational way. Often HR will give the managers the characteristics of high potential employees and ask how many of them this specific employee has. What I'm trying to say, in most of the organizations, the process of identifying someone's potential lacks data and is very subjective. What companies can do to make the process of identifying high potential employees more data-driven? First, you can add 180 or 360 feedback to your performance management cycle. In this way, you can see how Jane is perceived not only by her manager, but also by her team and by her peers. That gives additional insight about Jane's behavior. Second, you can incorporate psychometric assessment into the performance management process. With specialized assessments, you can measure social skills, emotional intelligence, motivation, and personal drive. If you want to learn more about how companies use assessment and development center methodology to develop their employees, check this video here. Not every company is using 360 feedback or psychometric assessments, mainly because of lack of resources. Firstly, every assessment and 360 feedback costs you something. Second, there is a lot of human effort involved in taking the assessment, analyzing the results, and then identifying where each employee falls and what development they require. So once employees' potential and performance are identified, employees are placed in respective boxes. I know it sounds horrible, but this is really what it is. By the way, not every manager or head of department likes or agrees with this whole process. Many managers say is that their job to give a feedback and develop their employees, not to put them in the boxes. Some companies reveal the box they assign the employee into. Many companies don't, and they keep it confidential. They would rather avoid telling an employee, we see your potential as low. In my personal opinion, no organization, executive or manager should say to an employee, your potential is low, because you're really demotivating the person. Anyways, once box is identified, L&D starts making a development plan for this high potential employee. So if we go back to the grid, high potential employees are those in green, your top right corner. In practice, this is where every employee wants to be, because this is where training and development budget usually spent. If you are here, there is a good chance you will be sent on training, assigned a mentor or coach, or given a promotion. This is it for today. In the comments, please let me know how your companies identifies high potential employees. I would like to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. If you're looking to take your learning and development career to a next level and you need support, I'm here to help you. Feel free to email me or message me on Instagram, and we will see what is the best way for us to work together. More information you can find on my website. Hope you're having adventures and following your dreams. Bye for now.